Coming up at the second stage of the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup, the battle is fierce between the Recurve women in Lausanne and the world's top men go head-to-head for gold. We're in the beautiful city of Lausanne, Switzerland for stage 2 of the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup. On Recurve Sunday, we'll find out who joins our winners from stage 1, Indian husband and wife Atanu Das and Deepika Kumari, as qualifiers for the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Drama, passion and intense competition is guaranteed. In the first women's recurve semi-final World Cup circuit, rookie Svetlana Gombayova of Russia was taking on second seed and Olympic silver medalist Lisa Unruh of Germany in a match which had to be settled by a single arrow shoot-off. The first 10 of the match. What a time to bring it out. Can Svetlana Gombayova get closer to the X? After a measure, confirmation that Svetlana Gombayova was heading through to the final. Oh, there you go. 3 mil is the difference between making it through and giving yourself a chance of a stage win. In the second women's semi, another Russian, Ksenia Pereva, was taking on youngster Audrey Adisium of France in what was to be the biggest match of her career. Experience told, but it took Pereva 5 sets to set up the all-Russian final. Well, 6 is required for the win, just to draw level. She shoots a 9, takes the points in their entirety in the 5th set. 7 set point 3 win for Ksenia Pereva. But the young French archer put that disappointment behind her with victory over Lisa Unruh in the bronze medal match.
Watch the clicker. Did you see that movement again? So she came to full draw and there was this little soaring movement, but it looks like it was enough.
Just about enough. She needed that 8 to take it. She is so delighted with that bronze. Her first time in the final 4. What a brilliant gesture from Unruh. So happy for someone nearly 10 years her junior. What a final we had to look forward to, with Svetlana Gombayova taking on Russian teammate Ksenia Pereva for the recurve crown. I think there is a very fine margin between these two. Add to that, they're both from the same country, an intramural affair. Gombayova to shoot first.
8. 9. 9. 9.
What's interesting here is I think there's only one Russian coach stood behind the younger athlete, and you can hear her giving her feedback and helping her, but no one behind Pereva.
Yeah, there you go. Getting the signal. Pereva, though, settling into that shot. She shoots really fast, but has gone into the 7 there. And a chance to take it has been given away by the more experienced Ksenia Pereva. I am astonished with that.
Yeah, unusual, isn't it? You know, we've got pretty good conditions here. We've talked about them being changeable. But interesting what she's going to do now between ends as well. But most people, they want someone in the box there behind them where they can just, you know, release a bit. If you're stood there on your own, you know, you can think and analyse, and that's not where you want to be. You can see a reaction there trying to pull it across.
Pereva will shoot first in the second. That is the kind of response we were expecting. A 10 from Perova.
8. 7.
Nearly hitting the spot of the last one. You know, I wonder if there's something technical there she's done and just repeated.
9.
Well, as you can see, all square, so it's just down to this one arrow now from each archer, and it's same again. Well, here's a big opportunity for an unexpected big lead after 6 arrows.
8.
She's put it into the 8. It's just about enough. A 25 plays 24 in this intriguing battle between two Russians, Gombayeva and Perova. Okay, you called it, you spotted it, hitting the same spot 3 times now. What is going on with Perova?
I can't quite see because there's no big issue. As she comes into full draw, there is a tiny movement of her hand into her neck, which we might see in the replay. But there's nothing really that stands out as being, you know, a big problem. But these tiny little things can make a big difference down the other end.
Yeah, she gets into full draw pretty quickly as well, and as you've mentioned earlier, looks very relaxed. She doesn't look like she's holding a huge amount of poundage.
I think that in the replay there looked a little bit what we call soft. She almost sort of, the movement of the fingers went forward before they went back, and going left is often a release error.
Time for set number 3.
8.
Left again, not quite as bad, but I wonder if Gombayeva can smell the victory here. Remember, winners of each stage have booked their place at the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals in September in Yankton in the USA.
She knew it again. You see that arm come straight across as soon as the shot went off, just trying to correct it. I think there's some sort of a release error happening here, and she's aware of it, but she just can't do anything to correct it.
9.
Well, she needs to find something here to put some pressure on. I think the look on her face suggested she'd given this one away. A 24, a 7 to win here for debutante Svetlana Gombayeva.
8.
And it's an 8. It's enough to take the win and take it in fine fashion. 6 set points to 0. I'm not quite sure she came here thinking she would win. I'm sure she wanted to, but when she saw that she was facing teammate Ksenia Perova, she was unflappable. She did what she needed to do. It wasn't the highest quality final by a scoring point of view, but very intriguing to see the start of this young archer's journey. Svetlana Gombayeva wins the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Lausanne and books her place in the finals in Yankton, USA in September, joining Deepika Kumari of India, who won stage 1. What a fabulous winner from Russia.
Я верю, я очень рада, что это мой первый опыт участия в Кубке мира, и я выиграла его, я очень сильно рада, и я вдохновлена работать дальше еще больше.
And here we have the results of that to the World Cup rankings. Deepika Kumari, who won out in Guatemala, stays top of the pile, but actually on equal points, level pegging with the winner here in Lausanne. In the Recurve women's team final, the second set saw Italy edge ahead, despite Mexico finishing strongly. And following a measure in the next set, Tatiana Andrioli, Lucilla Boari and Chiara Rebagliati claimed the match.
9.
Italy have taken the gold in the Recurve women's team event. The Spanish men were chasing back-to-back gold medals after claiming top spot on the podium in stage 1. But they were up against a German team who took an early lead.
9.
And Johannes Meyer, Florian Unruh and Max Weckmüller followed that up by taking the second set as well. Into the 9, so more than enough A 57 for the Germans, looking incredibly strong. The Germans were dominant and had the match wrapped up comfortably in the third set. They take the recurve men's team gold 6-0 over Spain. In the recurve mixed team final, the Netherlands were big favourites against Bangladesh, who were appearing in their first ever international gold medal match. After falling behind in the first set, Dia Siddiqui and Ruman Shana responded in the second. 35 points for the Netherlands, matches Bangladesh. Perhaps a bit of a missed opportunity for the Netherlands, but it will give Bangladesh something. It would have been a little cruel if they hadn't got a single point out of that. But despite that, the Dutch pair went on to claim gold in the third set. And 8 will do it. He's put it into the 10. Chef Vandenberg saving his best for last. And it's a 5-1 victory for Gabriela Schlüsser and Chef Vandenberg of the Netherlands, looking very strong indeed in that match. Promise being shown by the Bangladeshis, Dia Siddiqui and Ruman Shana. But in the end, the Netherlands were just too good and have taken gold here in Lausanne. Still to come, the top male archers from across the world go for recurve gold in Lausanne, Switzerland. Arriving in Lausanne, the weather was absolutely terrible. Some archers were more prepared for the rain than others.
Very, very rarely do you see a world record shot in rainy conditions. Definitely tests you, right? Because things aren't as perfect as you would like them to be. So you have impact to the arrow. Typically you have to add yardage, right? Because your arrow is being impacted by rain. Your tab, or for release shooter, same thing, the interaction with your hand. It's wet. And then sight picture as well. All of these things change under those conditions.
So it's important to remember to move your sight, but generally I find that the first shot when your bow is really wet will make the most amount of difference, and then they'll go up again a little bit more.
Another thing is all the bow and also the string get wet, and the water makes the string a little heavier, and you have to take care of it.
You definitely want to keep your fingertip dry as possible, and keep yourself warm if it's also cold.
My first end of practice, I was having a little trouble with that, so I take out my gloves and I was like, okay, all the time like this. And the second end was like better, and the group was tight.
So if your fingers are cold, you've lost dexterity, your connection to the bow is gone. It's extremely difficult. You're relying on kind of that muscle memory, that subconscious to kind of guide you through it, because in the moment you're unable to really feel what you're doing.
I think also stay positive, because often that's what gets to you. If you get too cold and you start just being negative about it, the weather that you can't change. So just, yeah, stay positive.
More focused on movement over muscle, right? And understanding that it's not going to feel right, but you still have to trust in your training and your preparation and rely on it to go through these types of tough conditions.
I don't love it or hate it. It's all right as long as I don't get too cold.
I don't feel that it matters that much whether it's raining or not, because we're still doing the same thing, basically. Yeah, we just put on more layers.
No, I'm kind of excited because I want to know, like, how will it be with all the countries, like rainy countries, and then Mexico, like a hot country. So, I don't know, I like to try new things, and this is a really new one.
It's going to be some trials and tribulations for some folks. I think the top level will still be able to persevere and push through, mainly because they've done this before and they understand and they trust in their training. Some of the newcomers, some of the people who haven't been in these positions before or had to shoot in the rain, it's going to be difficult for them.
In the first men's recurve semi-final at the second stage of the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup in Lausanne, 18-year-old Spaniard Jun Sanchez had a huge challenge on his hands as he was facing world number 1 and current World Cup champion Brady Ellison of the USA. Place in the gold medal match? Yes, it is. 3 9s and a 27 to win for Brady Ellison by 6 set points to 0. The second men's semi saw the breakout star of the season, 19-year-old Nicolas de Moor of the US Virgin Islands, taking on Max Weckmuller from Germany. This one went to 5 sets. Max Weckmuller needs an 8 to win and make the gold medal match. He's hit the 9. The bronze medal match was a glimpse into the future as promising youngsters Nicolas de Moor and Jun Sanchez went head-to-head. This was another 5-setter, and it was the Spaniard who triumphed. A 9 required for the win. Who knows? Will it be a 8, 9 or 10? It is a 9. It's a fantastic shot from Jun Sanchez. Very quickly delivered, actually, in the end. And he's taken the bronze medal here in Lausanne. That meant the men's recurve final was between Germany's Max Weckmuller and the USA's Brady Ellison. Well, Max Weckmuller is unfamiliar with this position. Not only in the final 4 here in Lausanne, he's shooting for gold with a bunch of cameras pointing at him and the eyes of the world on him. And he goes up against someone who does this for fun, shooting in big matches like this. World number 1, reigning world champion Brady Ellison, massive favourite to take the gold medal here and book his place at the World Cup finals. It's Ellison who will get us underway.
10.
It was a gritty performance from Max Weckmuller in the semi-finals. Showed some real steel. The thing is, he's going to have to put these into the centre of the target, and that is a confident start from the German. Much needed.
10.
Just out of the exit 11.
9.
Maybe just out. I don't know if they're going to star that one. Might be close, but doesn't Brady look on form?
10, 10, 10.
Perfect start from Ellison. Ominous. The 2 set points are his. But I have to say, Weckmuller's grouping, not too bad. Those 2 9s are the difference between the two, but actually, as good as Ellison is, I don't think Weckmuller's too far off him.
No, he just needs to make an adjustment there, doesn't he? You need to utilise your group size. If they're smaller than the 10, just shuffle them across and get those maximum points that you can.
Get a good view of Ellison's technique. And as you suggested, Nikki, that second arrow from Weckmuller is actually subject to a measure. They are having a look at it. It's still not going to be enough for any set points, but will boost Weckmuller's confidence, no doubt.
World number 27. Mad Max Weckmuller shoots first on target 1.
So trailing by 2 set points, the German Weckmuller will shoot first in the second set.
9.
9,3 auf 9.
9.
1 o'clock, 9-5.
Just a little bit of a longer hold there from Brady.
10.
So, job done. Leading the order of shooting to put some pressure on your opponent with a big score.
8.
Just left.
Quizzical look from Ellison to coach. And Weckmuller can put this one to bed. Oh, look at that. Not only has he put it to bed, but those last 2 arrows, absolutely superb. Will be all square after the first and second sets. So, an interesting second set for Brady Ellison. What on earth happened there?
Well, we saw similar things in the semi-final, didn't we? Where Brady came out, shot 26, he then shot 29, and back down to a 27. He just spread them around the 9 and 8 a little bit, and you can't really see much difference, can you? Maybe a slight change in the timing that we've talked about before, being at full draw, the length of time before the release, changing a little bit, but you know, not major errors, just enough to spread them out.
Yeah, meanwhile, Weckmiller, who didn't have very big scores in his semi-final, has suddenly brought his A-game to the final with Brady Ellison. How much of an upset would this be if Ellison wasn't to win and book his place at the Hyundai Archery World Cup finals?
It would be a huge upset. He's definitely the favourite here to win.
Well, he's been pegged back to all square. Brady Ellison, world number 1, will shoot first in the third set.
9. 9.
Well, Ellison's coach said that he put that first arrow into the same hole as the previous one, and the correction has been made and he's back in the centre.
Yeah, if you look at the holes in the target face, Brady's shot a much better group so far. They've just been a little bit high.
Weckmiller matching him. Well, the Brady we all know is back with a 29. Can be matched here. 10 from Weckmiller. Required, it's only a 9, so another 28 for Weckmiller, and the points go to Ellison 4-2. So they've tossed this one about a bit. Ellison going 2-0 up in after the first, Weckmiller pegging him back in the second, and now Ellison back on the centre of the target, goes 4-2 up. So what has changed? Well, 26 in the previous round, with the arrows going high, and now nearly a perfect.
The only real difference I can see there is in the shot timing, how long he's staying at full draw, and that might indicate a difference perhaps in the balance of the front arm versus the back arm, and you know, everything's been a little bit high, isn't it? So he's just made that adjustment now to get him back into the 10.
Do you see this being done now in the fourth set, or do we think we're going to see more of the Weckmiller fight back?
I think given Brady's performances so far today in the semi-final as well, there's a chance, you know, for Weck to come back.
Well, we watch on for set number 4. Ellison leading the way as the favourite up against this German who refuses to let go.
10.
Just dropping into the 9, an opportunity potentially for Ellison here.
10.
Fantastic response.
Yeah, what pressure now on Weckmiller. His final arrow needs to be a good one in this set. Just clipping the 10 ring, so a 29. 2 28s and 2 29s, but a perfect score from Ellison in this set will win it for him. Oh, it is gold for Brady Ellison. Normal order is restored in the recurve men's individual discipline with the world number 1 and reigning world champion from the United States of America, Brady Ellison, taking gold at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup here in Lausanne.
I think I might get the most improved for that, going out the first match and then winning. You know, it feels good. Like, we've been out of competition for so long, and you know, like they're saying, like world number 1, world champion and all that, and then to come on, you want to keep shooting well. You know, you come off of 2019, best season ever, and then you want to start this. So it's good to get another win. It's good to be in another World Cup final that way, and just overall pretty excited with it.
This is how things look after 2 stages. Nicolas Demore, look, right up the top there. Breakthrough athlete of the season. Hasn't got a stage win, but sits atop the rankings. Ellison winning here joins Atanu Das in the top 3. Das winning in Guatemala. And look at that. New names, Castro, Weckmuller, joined by Steve Weyer in the top 6. Lausanne in Switzerland has provided a stunning backdrop for an intense week of competition in the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. We've seen young Russian Svetlana Gombayova and the USA's Brady Ellison take recurve golds and book their places at the 2021 Hyundai Archery World Cup final. Attention now turns to Stage 3 in Paris, France, so join us then.